Hi everyone, it's been a really long time since I've made a video for this channel. It's probably going on 15 months now. I just needed to take a break. I wanted to work on some other projects. Hopefully they'll come to fruition soon. But yeah, so I just didn't have the time to sit down and build anything or sit down and make any videos. But I don't know, I want to say like 3 weeks ago I got a flyer in the mail from Lego showing the new Avengers Endgame sets. And that new Iron Man Hall of Armor really got me going. I definitely want to buy that and take the minifigs, put it in my Avengers Tower. And I don't know if I'm going to use the set in my Avengers Tower, but we'll see. That being said, seeing that really made me want to get back into Lego. So I finally finished this Ninjago city set that I've been working on for probably 18-20 months. Well, I started 18-20 months ago, and then I just stopped building it when I stopped building Lego. So I probably only have 2 or 3 months into it. And most of that is just waiting for parts to come in. But yeah, I know I've shown you this one in the past. This one is just my arcade, a droid shop, some storage units, a fishing little shop, a library, and I forget what this building is. But yeah, I've shown you that in the past. That's the original Ninjago City. I didn't buy the Ninjago City docks because that came out during that whole period when I wasn't doing anything with Lego. I might go back out and buy it. We'll see. I really don't have room to display it, so that's probably the reason why I won't buy it. But I might just buy it, keep it in the box for in the future when I have time, have a place to display it. I can build it. I don't know. We'll see. But this was my newest build. It's, as you can see, it's the Palace Cinema. I know I had one Palace Cinema, and I think I had bought a second Palace Cinema that wasn't complete. That was just they listed it as incomplete for parts. So I bought that, and I combined the two of them to build this top section. And then on the bottom section here we have a police, just a police station. And then this bottom build is a scuba dive shop. So I'm gonna cut away, get the other two buildings out of the way, and then I'll show you the details that went into this build. Well, before I cut away, let me just show you the back side of this. There's not much detail in the back. Try to somewhat keep it nice. Originally I had the plain glass windows here, but then I realized this is actually a theater, and you would want the theater to be dark, so I just bricked them in with bricks. I don't know if I like that because on the second floor I also have a theater here, and I'm not able to brick them in with bricks because then it just wouldn't look good up there. So I might go back and change these to be the actual frames with glass pane in them. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But down on the bottom, you see the police station, and then this is part of the dive shop. They have a little rover they're working on. The transition, originally I had my MOC and the original city together. I don't know, what is it? A wooden boardwalk going across the two. But then when I was building the dive shop, I realized I didn't want a wooden boardwalk going across if I'm going to have like a rover down there. So I'm using the grates. So that transition really isn't that nice. I haven't thought of a better way to do it. I might tear up the wood planks on both sides and replace them. But we'll see. I don't know. So here's the build by itself. It's really skinny on this ground floor. That makes this top half somewhat unstable. Like, it's all balanced right now, but if you give it any like sort of torque, this top half has fallen backwards before on me. Um, I was thinking of maybe putting some arches here, but it kind of ruins what I was doing on the inside, so I ended up not doing that. It's stable enough to carry, but when I move it around, I always take off the top half um, before I start moving it around. It's just, yeah. Um, so here we have the bottom two floors. This side of the police station needed to stay attached because it was the staircase, and let's pull this out. It was the staircase going up to the second floor, and to have this piece attached to here, it would have been like attached via just one plate, and it just wasn't working for me. So it stays attached to the bottom floor. It's fine. It just gets in the way sometimes, but otherwise it's all good. It's hard to get in there. Oh, let's show you the back half first. So there was an old small little box, I forget what the set was, that had this little rover and a bunch of scuba divers in it. I thought that would make a nice simple addition to this dive shop. I was really couldn't figure out what to use in this space. This space is really small and thin, and I was looking for something small and simple that I could put in here. And I don't know. When I saw that set, I go, okay, I can do a dive shop. Put in there's a dive suit in there. I don't know if you can get a good angle on it. There's a dive suit. There's some fins and tools along the side, harpoons, metal detectors, scuba gear. There's helmets. Helmets are usually on top of there, but they fell down. And then up here, there's a little display. I don't know, you could take your picture in front of it before you go scuba diving, I guess. Yeah. Police station. Police station's really simple. Just got a few desks for police officers. There's a jail cell with a bench. So this is my iteration of the Palace Cinema. It comes off in 3 parts. So this is the roof section of the Palace Cinema. I think this is pretty much exactly the way it looks in the original set. I'm not sure if this centerpiece is the same, but I know the roof, this roof structure used the same build, this used the same build. The slanted roof pieces used a similar building technique. Used the same building technique, but it was scaled differently. Yeah, because the Palace Cinema is like at an angle, if I seem to remember. It's a corner building. On the rooftop, I just put the spotlights. There's no room to put the spotlights on the ground floor, so I just put them on the roof. This piece, the Palace nameplate, or the Palace build, this is I don't know, this was the biggest pain to get done, to make it fit with this building, because for the official build, it's on a corner, so there's a lot more space in the back between the wall and the actual signage. So just getting that to fit took a little bit of trial and error, but eventually it went in. So the second floor, we have the snack area. You can buy sodas, ice cream, pretzels, pizzas, whatever you want. And then over here we have a theater room. So the reason why on the back side I didn't change this to be just brick, so that you wouldn't have light coming into the theater, is because then I would also have to do that to the front, and I didn't want to do that to the front because it ruined the view. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm thinking I won't change that, but we'll see. So on the ground floor, we have these swinging doors. I think it's the same exact build from the original set. So um, the Ninjago City second story is really has a really narrow walk path, and then when these doors swing open, it even gets even tighter. So to try to give them more space, I'm using some wings just to give it a little more space for the front door, so it juts out slightly. Once you go in, you have the the ticket sales booth. It's small. It's at a weird angle. I was thinking about putting it over here, but over here I was thinking I could use that space for like a little arcade. I didn't build anything to put in there yet because I was still considering moving the ticket booth over there. But yeah, those are my two options. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do. Staircase goes up. I could also, the other option was I could put a bathroom in this corner, but that's way too big of a. Maybe it would fit. I don't know. And then it's hard to show. On this ground floor, we have another theater, 6 seats. Another thing to note. I had originally tried to keep the same motif along the front here for the guardrails, but the guardrails don't really like the spacing on the guardrails for the original Ninjago City and then my other corner Ninjago City work because there are corners. When you're just using a straight plate going across, spacing these support elements, these support beams, can't really space them evenly so that you can have those fence pieces turned upside down to go across. That's just a note for anyone who's considered building their own Ninjago City piece. So there are a few other design elements that I wanted to discuss that I did to try to mimic or try to place this piece in with the original Ninjago series. So in the original Ninjago City set, you have the massive support beam in the corner, and you have another support beam at one of the you have support beams at 2 of the corners. So I wanted to do something similar, so I just put a support beam here. I could have split this up to have 2 different support beams, but I thought one bigger, bulkier one would make it look better, especially when it's next to the actual city, because in the actual city, this corner would have a support beam, so having 2 support beams so close to one another, I didn't think it would look that great, so I decided to put them both on this side. As I mentioned before, the original Ninjago series has a really small, narrow second floor walk path, so I put wings out here to jut it forward, just so that there's more walking space for minifigs to get by. So another thing I wanted to mimic from the original set was, in the original set there's a telephone. There's a building with a telephone attached to it, and next to it are some wood paneling, and I really liked the way that looked. So I tried to do something similar here. This back area is a white panel, just the 5x6 white panel, and then this is I think it's considered a structure piece or a support piece. Yeah, I think BRICKED listed on their supports. But it's a 5x6 brown with some crosshatch, with some beaming. It makes it look like this is a wood support structure, and then on the other side there's just like some painted paneling. And then over here I try to mimic wood with these slopes, and it doesn't really look like wood. It's more like some sort of plastic shingle, but I think it achieved the effect that I was trying to go for, where everything's like these little panels that going across, and then it's all this old structure is being is just being built upon and built upon. So like the newer police stations built upon the really old wood structure, and then you have this massive concrete and steel structure supporting the Palace Cinema above it all. Oh, on the note of just talking about architecture and different building techniques. So in the back here, I have these columns. That column effect is achieved by using hinge pieces. Um, yeah, just by using hinge pieces. When you open them all the way, you have that little piece that juts out. So I had a whole bunch of leftover dark red hinged brick from building my Lego TV tower. So I decided I'd just use them because I really like the way these columns come out when you build it really tall. The only issue was trying to keep with the original Ninjago City motif. I couldn't really go really tall with it. Originally, I was going to carry them all the way using black and white into the second second building, this police station. But then I thought, no, that doesn't keep with the traditional Ninjago City build where everything is just like piecemeal and no two buildings look the same. They all look like they use different building techniques. So I ended up not doing that and just using a totally different building look for the police station. Also on the topic of keeping with the original Ninjago City motif, I'm undecided whether I like all these stars going across. Originally I did it so that it would say, okay, yeah, this is the movies and these are the stars, but in the original city you have a bunch of random signage just representing different stores throughout the city, and I kind of like the way that looks, but also I kind of like the way this is because I don't have multiple buildings up top here. This is just supposed to be the Palace Cinema, so I'm torn whether I should do a bunch of different advertisements for different companies or just leave it as the stars. I've been wavering back and forth, trying different things. I do think I like the stars better, but when I put the building next to my other two builds, that does look slightly off. Well, thank you all for watching this video. I'll be making more videos soon. I have a bunch of modulars that I've started to work on, and it's a series of modulars. They all look like they go together. Trying to go for like the 1800s, 1850s, 1860s look, but we'll see. I kind of like the way they look. One or two of them I might change around, but they're mostly done. They don't have interiors, but the exterior structure is mostly done, and I like the way that they came out. So hopefully I'll finish them within the next I don't know, week, and then I can have a series of videos for that. Right now I have 4 of them built. I've been considering making a 5th one, but we'll see. Yeah, but for now, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Actually, you don't need to like and subscribe. It's okay. Just thank you all for watching. Have a great day. Bye.